Hello, this is Lacquerography, and this is my wish list for August 2025's Hella Handmade Creations. I've already gone ahead and made a preliminary first impressions wish list, and right now there are 12 items that are catching my eye. Let's dive right in and take a look at those 12 items. The first item up is by Alchemy Lacquers, and this one is called Water Lily. This one is also listed as a capped pre-order polish, and looking down here below the description, it says that there is a 200 cap. What that means in this case is that this maker, Alchemy Lacquers, is committing to creating 200 of these polishes before it's considered sold out. Alchemy Lacquers continues their Barbie Dolls series with the 5th polish in the series. The Water Lily Barbie is a stunning doll inspired by Claude Monet's famous series of water lilies artworks, and it's one of my most favorite dolls. Water Lily is a periwinkle Crelly nail lacquer with orange to gold to green to blue shifting iridescent flakes. Quite simply, this polish just looks ethereal, magical, and beautiful. I'm loving the way these iridescent flakies are playing up against this really light, fresh, airy base color. For me, it also doesn't hurt that part of the inspiration for this one, I realize it's part of the Barbie Dolls series from Alchemy Lacquer, and it's funny, I really wasn't a Barbie fan growing up. I had a few because I had a friend that always wanted to play Barbies and always made me be Ken. And so I think my mom felt sorry for me and bought me a couple of Barbie dolls so I wouldn't have to be Ken all the time. But that aside, I'm also impressed by the fact that this one has the side inspiration of Claude Monet's water lilies. I always love it when artworks become the inspiration for some of these polish creations. I truly see that in this polish, like those relaxing, fresh colors that you would see in Claude Monet's painting series. It's all here in this polish, and I love this one. This gorgeous, fresh periwinkle polish is by Alchemy Lacquers Water Lily. This next one up is by Bee's Knees Lacquer, and this one is called Then Pay With Your Blood. This one is a magnetic polish, and this one is also listed as a capped pre-order polish with only 500 being made available this month. Bee's Knees Lacquer begins a new series inspired by the video game Oblivion. Then Pay With Your Blood is a raspberry pink with magnetic hollow shimmer and gold to green sibling UP. Okay, I'm a Canadian, and actually, first of all, I do have to mention that, although I love the look of this polish, I think the color is gorgeous, this price point kind of threw me for a moment. $15 a bottle is getting a little bit pricey. I feel like that's maybe one of the pricier Bee's Knees Lacquer releases through Hella Handmade Creations that I've seen. It does work out to $1 per milliliter, US dollars, but as a Canadian, that starts to hit a little bit. So I'll have to keep an eye on that. But back to this polish and this color. I'm loving this raspberry pink color, and there's something kind of light about it. I find that this raspberry color kind of brings together the summer moving into fall. There's something about the depth of this raspberry base and also the way it plays with the magnetic effect that does bring me from summer into fall. It's got a bit of a richness to it, a decadence somehow. I'm finding that I think I'm especially drawn to the look of this polish in its cat eye magnetic state. I think what I'm seeing here from this swatcher is that the two middle fingers here, so in this case, the swatcher's middle finger and ring finger are done in the velvet style. The index and pinky finger appear to be done in the cat eye style. And what's appealing to me in this swatch photo, I like both, but I'm thinking that the cat eye style really showcases the richness and the decadence of that raspberry tone. I'm also liking how I see the holographic pick up a little bit here. I'd love to see how this one plays in the light. I'm also really impressed how this polish is flattering to so many different skin tones. There's a really lovely range of different swatch photos from several different swatchers with different skin tones, and I'm loving how flattering this is truly on everybody. And I'm also intrigued by the fact that this one has the gold to green sibling UP running through it. To me, that might indicate that it might be a lighter, maybe slightly more sheer leaning polish as opposed to a thicker magnetic, so that the shimmer and that sibling UP effect really shows through. There's some sort of a delicacy about that kind of pigment. But anyway, all that considered, this one is a strong contender on my wish list this month. This beautiful raspberry magnetic is by Bee's Knees Lacquer, Then Pay With Your Blood. This next one up is by Clionadh Cosmetics, Spanish Dancer Slug. This one is actually not listed as having a cap. It says down below, no cap. What that means is that this maker, Clionadh Cosmetics, can produce as many polishes as are needed to fulfill all orders this month. Reading the description, it says, the first nail lacquer of our creepy and cute aquatic creatures theme is inspired by the Spanish dancer slug. This seemingly beautiful sea slug exhibits bright red, orange, and pink colored flesh, but don't let their beauty trick you into touching them. These creatures are poisonous, causing death to other animals and skin irritation to humans. Spanish dancer slug is a bright pink-toned red polish with hot orange to yellow shifting shimmer and pink light reflective glitter. Now, right now, as it stands in my wish list, I think this one's my top pick this month. I'm loving the sparkle that I'm seeing through these swatch photos. Perhaps that might be due to the shifting shimmer as well as the light pink reflective glitter that I'm seeing in here. There is that interesting play with the light, but ultimately it's this color. It's August 7th when I'm filming this right now, and there's something about these warm red polishes with the orange warm lean. Reminds me of fresh tomatoes, which are becoming abundant in my area right now. It's that August, summer fading into fall type color that I'm craving right now. I think this one's really gorgeous. This is another one that I think is looking beautiful on every swatcher that I'm seeing. And that beautiful warm glow from the orange to yellow shifting shimmer just adds that beautiful kind of summer sunset look, I think, to this nail polish. I am completely drawn to this one. This beautiful bright hot polish is by Clionadh Cosmetics, Spanish Dancer Slug. This next one up is by Cuticula, and this one is an encore offering called Trident of Neptune. For their encore, Cuticula has chosen a polish from 2020 inspired by Aquaman. Trident of Neptune has a deep blackened plum base with aqua and gold metallic flakes. There is also no availability cap listed for this polish, which is good news for me. So this was an encore listing. How that works for Hella Handmade Creations is that each month they go through the maker's list alphabetically, and there's usually about 4 or 5 makers that are invited to bring back and recreate an item from the past. And in this case, this one's from 2020. That's before I knew anything about Hella Handmade Creations. So I feel like this is quite a find. Now, this is a polish that's really making me crave fall and winter. And it's really kind of funny. I'm a teacher. I should really love summers. We get a significant amount of holiday time in the summer as teachers. But for whatever reason, fall in the last couple of years has come on to be my very favorite season. And I love the depth, the warmth, the mystery that this polish is bringing. That really deep, rich purple base, it's described as a blackened plum base. I can totally see that. It is very rich, very deep, really elegant looking, I think. And I think it's such a special combination with this aqua and gold metallic flake component added. It's something really different. I have nothing like this one in my collection. I think this one would be so mysterious and elegant. And I'm not much of a matte polish wearer, but I kind of wonder how much I'd like this one mattified as well. I think this could be quite interesting. Kind of a velvet look. I don't know. The more I look at this one, the more I'm thinking that this one is a top contender on my wish list as well. This really rich blackened plum-based polish that's an encore offering is by Cuticula, Trident of Neptune. This next one up is by Garden Path Lacquers, and this one is called Nothing You Can Take From Me. Garden Path Lacquers continues their favorite book cover series with a polish inspired by The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins. Nothing You Can Take From Me has an emerald green base, suspends jade holographic microglitter, gold shifting iridescent aurora flakes, and silver holographic microflakes. There is no listed availability cap for this polish, so that's another good thing for me. Now this one might also be another top contender for me this month. And it's for kind of a personal reason, I guess. The moment I saw this one, I thought golden green. I'm a teacher, I mentioned that a moment ago. Gold and green are actually my school's colors. I mean, first of all, I thought the polish was really gorgeous and beautiful, and I realized there's other ways that I can get green and gold from my life and onto my nails. But it's funny, that was one of the first things that occurred to me when I saw this polish. I thought, oh, it's our school colors. Like, I have to add this to my wish list. Not only that, though, I could see myself wearing this polish really every season of the year. It's got a freshness, like sunshine on fresh greens for the spring, beautiful rich emerald green for summertime. To me, it's the very beginnings of changing leaves as they start turning to yellow, golden colors in the fall. And this could even be quite a holiday polish for potentially Christmas time if you celebrate, also for St. Patrick's Day if you celebrate. There's something about this one that brings those lush evergreen vibes as well. So I see this one for me as being a 4 season a year meaningful polish. I love that this one is also, it just happens to be my school colors, gold and green. Not only that, but if this is the finish that I'm thinking it is from Garden Path Lacquers, it's unbeatable. I love their finish that includes this holographic micro glitter, the shifting aurora flakes. I mean, really, I think this one is another very top pick of mine this month. This beautiful golden green polish is by Garden Path Lacquers, Nothing You Can Take From Me. This next one up is by Hearts and Promises, and it's called Malachite. This one is another capped offering with only 200 being made available this month. Hearts and Promises continues their Crystals and Gemstones series. Malachite is a deep emerald green linear hollow polish. I've got 2 in a row that are gorgeous greens, but this one is really quite different than the last one. This linear hollow polish, I think, is the most dead-on match for the inspiration photo here. I love that Hearts and Promises included the inspiration photo in this collage of Malachite. I think they match the hue, the tone, the everything of Malachite beautifully with this polish. This really is a work of art to me. And I'm loving this collage as well because can we just talk about that sparkle of rainbows that we're seeing off these swatchers' nails? And that's just in photography. Like, I can only imagine how this one would play out in real life in natural sunlight or in shifting light, no matter what it is, indoor light, sunlight. I think this one would be truly a standout. I am a green lover as well, so I have no worry about there being a couple of greens on my wish list. They're very different from each other. This one is a true malachite green. This is another one where I'm just in love. This spectacular gemstone-inspired polish is by Hearts and Promises, Malachite. This next one up is by Indie Polish by Patty Lopez. This one is a duo offering, and I do like them together. The parts of the duo are called Turbulence Burning and Giraffe. This one is another capped offering with only 100 of this duo being made available. Now, these items are also available individually, but it is as a duo that I'm most drawn to this offering. Indie Polish by Patty Lopez wraps up their Famous Painters series with polishes inspired by Salvador Dali's The Burning Giraffe. Turbulence Burning has a blurple base with blue-purple aurora shimmer. Giraffe is a topper that has a mix of iridescent and multi-chrome flakies. Now, I've been loving watching this series play out by Indie Polish by Patty Lopez. I'm always so just impressed with how makers interpret artworks in their polishes. I think that's just a level of artistry that, I'm kind of without words. And this series has been remarkable. I haven't had the chance to pick up very many from this series. I do find that although I appreciate the artistry of these polish incredibly, in some ways more than most others, the price point for me as a Canadian is often very prohibitive. So this duo is $27. And I mean, it does come with 2 polishes. These are 10 milliliter bottles. So, I mean, we're looking at a pretty pricey thing, 20 total milliliters of polish for $27. So as a Canadian, I have to really love it in order to make the purchase. But it's the artistry that makes me want these together as a duo. Although I am absolutely no visual artist myself, I have incredible appreciation for visual arts. In fact, I have a minor. I did a major in biology, but I have a minor in art history. I appreciate art and the role it plays in culture and history and countries around the world. I could go on, but Salvador Dali's The Burning Giraffe is such an interesting pick for the finale for this series. Such a unique artwork and such a beautiful duo. I mean, that base color, you can really see how Turbulence Burning, that blurple base with the blue-purple aurora shimmer, is really quite vibrant and dramatic. Really gorgeous base color. And then when you take a look at the topper that goes on top of it, that mix of iridescent and multi-chrome flakes, like it really does have just a gorgeous, perfect fall effect, really. And if you take a look at the artwork and how they've managed to pull that inspiration here, I mean, it really is remarkable, the artistry. I think this is a gorgeous fall combination here. I love it. The wild imagination here by not just Salvador Dali and his incredible artwork, but also by Indie Polish by Patty Lopez to be able to pull this duo off. Kudos to them. I'm in love with this duo and I've loved the entire series. I can't wait to follow along and see what they come up with next. Yeah, this one's going to be a tough one. I really shouldn't be buying it, but it really is special. I'll have to think pretty hard about this one before the shop opens on August the 14th to see if this one really makes sense for me to purchase. But what a standout. This incredible duo is by Indie Polish by Patty Lopez, and the duo components are Turbulence Burning and Giraffe. This next one up is by Lurid Lacquer, and this one is called Sartorial Dilemmas of the Winged Male. This one is another capped offering with 600 being made available this month. Lurid Lacquer continues their A Court of Tropes and Clichés series, inspired by the age-old question, how the heck do those winged hotties put their shirts on? That's hilarious. Oh my goodness. Sartorial Dilemmas of the Winged Male has a bright blue base with large particle aurora shimmer that shifts from blue to purple and silver light reflective glitter. I've got to say, the first thing that crossed my mind was like a cheer, like, yes, this is going to be a really unpopular opinion. So brace yourselves and don't hate me for it. But I own Mooncat's House of Hades, and it frustrates me beyond belief. I haven't gotten rid of it, but for me, it's a 4-coater to get that quality and depth of color that you really want. And it drives me bonkers to have to put on 4 coats of polish in order to get an effect that I want. It's such a vibrant, rich blue color, Mooncat's House of Hades. I don't know, I just find it so odd that I have to apply it in 4 coats to get the results I want. Now, what is having me hold on to that polish, I know some people say it's their favorite, but what's having me hold on to it is the hope that with time, as usually happens with polishes do tend with age to thicken up a little bit. So it's my hope that the next time I go to wear it, I've only worn it once because it frustrated me so much, but the next time I go to wear it, I'm really hoping that it might turn into just a 3-coater and that I might actually enjoy wearing it. But I was so angry with it the first time I wore it. Yeah, it has a beautiful color, but with 4 coats, like, it's an expensive polish in 4 coats. So when I saw this one, I thought, yes, like, here we go. This is my chance. This is my chance to get sort of the effect of something like House of Hades, that really rich, vibrant, decadent electric blue, although I know it's completely different. But hopefully without that 4-coat frustration. Like, I have no other words to say it. One of the things that has me also so desperately wanting to get this polish is that I've really heard only positive things about Lurid Lacquer. about their formulas, about their quality, about how when you see them in real life, they're better than what you'd ever expect from these incredibly gorgeous swatch photos. Like, look at all these swatch photos. Like, they're beautiful. They're so vibrant, and they're showcasing such a vibrant, decadent color, capturing all that twinkle with the aurora shimmer, with the light reflective glitter. But everything I've heard about Lurid lacquer is that in almost every case, they're even better in person. And I don't know, I love this one. It also makes me laugh. I mean, the name of it is hilarious, and the inspiration. Honestly, I've got to get reading some of these romantasy books in order to appreciate sometimes the full impact of some of these tropes and cliches that Lurid lacquer is talking about. I've got a few on my to be read list. I haven't read any yet, but I'm looking forward to diving in. But this is really beautiful, and I would love it if this polish could kind of fill that void in my heart that was left by kind of an underwhelming experience with Mooncat's House of Hades that I think is pretty overhyped. But I love this one. This gorgeous, vibrant, twinkly blue is by Lurid Lacquer, Sartorial Dilemmas of the Winged Male. This next polish up is by Night Owl Lacquer, and this one is called Don't Feed a Guy a Sponge. With this polish, Night Owl Lacquer continues their Bob's Burgers series with a polish inspired by Teddy. From the maker, this is also what my husband says to me when I make tofu. Don't Feed a Guy a Sponge is a mustard crelly filled with multichrome flakes that shift gold chartreuse green. Luckily, there is no availability cap for this one. I kind of stopped there when it said mustard crelly. I was seeing at first kind of a pea green kind of color, but I guess actually that's not far off. I mean, some mustards actually do have that more like greenish lean to the base, and actually probably some of my favorites too. Some good mustard seed, organic mustards. I do love a good mustard. But now I'm off topic. This is another, to my eye, kind of greenish leaning polish. It could just be those components in here that are making it appear so greenish. But this is another one that I'm seeing as so perfect for this exact time of year. As summer starts to fade into fall, you've got a lovely color that is starting to turn golden, from green to golden. Those multichrome flakes in there looking like changing leaves. For my part of the world, it really does epitomize like that feeling of this time of year. I'm noticing that kind of vibe is really getting to me this month. There's quite a few that are really appealing to me because of that summer to fall type transition. It really is one of my very favorite times of year. I'm loving this macro shot here. Like, just you can see the layering of these flakes, how dramatic it looks, how beautiful, how it picks up the light. I love the shift that you're getting in these multichrome flakes, and that base color as well. I kind of love it. This is another one that's looking quite appealing across many different skin tones. I love the warmth that it's giving me as well. I don't know what it is. I guess it is kind of that golden warmth that I'm feeling off of this polish, but it's very appealing. I also think that this inspiration, the name of the polish, is pretty hilarious too. Don't Feed a Guy a Sponge. I've only watched just a handful of episodes of Bob's Burgers, so I've never seen this episode. I don't really know fully the context, but what a great line, and the inspiration here, comparing it to what the maker's husband says when she makes tofu. I think that's pretty perfect. I love it. I can't get enough of it. And also in this swatch photo, I am seeing a little bit more of that mustard pull too, which just such an interesting base, really appealing polish. This beautiful mustard polish is by Night Owl Lacquer, Don't Feed a Guy a Sponge. This next one up is by Psyche Minerals, and this one is called Purple Crayon, and it's a magnetic polish. This one is also a capped pre-order polish with only 275 being made available. Psyche Minerals continues their children's book series with a polish inspired by Harold and the Purple Crayon. Purple Crayon has a purple jelly base with a magnetic multichrome pigment that shifts between green to blue to violet to pink with purple reflective glitter. Now, right away, when I saw that Psyche Minerals was offering a magnetic polish, I actually immediately put it on my wish list. I've tried quite a few polishes of a very favorite formula of mine from Psyche Minerals, where it features a gorgeous, vibrant base with reflective glitter, and usually it has some sort of iridescent flaky component in it as well. But I've never had the honor of trying one of their magnetic polishes. I'm really kind of liking the effect of this. It's quite different. This would be a new formula for me to try out from Psyche Minerals, and I really don't have very many magnetic reflective polishes with this type of reflective impact. It looks like it's quite healthy on the reflective pigment, although, I can't really be sure, but it looks here from the bottom left-hand picture in this collage that there's a healthy amount of the reflective glitter component going on. Such a beautiful color range here. I'm also intrigued by the fact that this has a magnetic multichrome pigment base. It's describing the shifts as being green to blue to violet to pink. So quite a possible spectrum range there. I'm really quite loving what I'm seeing from the color range in this swatch collage as well. Also, there's the fact that this one is inspired by the children's book, Harold and the Purple Crayon. This is actually one that I haven't read in probably, a while, maybe even a decade. At the beginning of my career, I was a kindergarten teacher, and I can remember that Harold and the Purple Crayon was one that I read quite often to my students. I still teach young kids now. I'm teaching grade 3 in the coming year, and I've taught that kind of age range for the last several years. I really should revisit this book, actually. It's a great classic for a reason. It brings back all those feels of like early in my career and working with like the youngest kids in our education system here in Canada. And I don't know, I should revisit this book for sure. And this polish is really impressing me for pretty much every reason. This really interesting purple magnetic reflective polish is by Psyche Minerals. Purple Crayon. This next one up is by Sassy Cat's Lacquer, and this one is called Green Elixir. This one is another magnetic polish and another green, and it's also another capped offering, and there's only 100 of these being made available this month. That is quite a small availability cap, so this is another one that I'm going to have to think really carefully about, and I may have to consider making my purchase this month right when the shop opens, August 14th at 12:01 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, if I do feel strongly enough to have this one end up in my cart to be sure that I can acquire it. Sassy Cat's Lacquer continues their All Things Sweet series with a polish inspired by a strawberry matcha boba. Green Elixir has a sage base with purple-pink glowy shimmer plus a blue-purple magnetic effect. Now, first of all, I need to give a bit of a shout out here. I'm actually drinking a cup of some strawberry matcha right now. I'm not drinking a boba or anything. Actually, I've just been having my matcha like just straight with hot water, just a straight matcha, not in a latte or anything like that, for the past couple of months. Anyway, this one's kind of getting me in my heart that I've got a strawberry matcha on the go right now. But back to the polish. Sassy Cat's Lacquer. This is a brand that I shopped quite extensively from through Handmade Creations specifically, actually, a couple of years back, probably about 2 years ago. And they had this finish where it was a base color, usually with a contrasting shimmer, that just I couldn't get enough of that finish. And it seemed like month after month I was purchasing from them and absolutely loving their polish. I'm not sure what shifted for me. Like, I guess I acquired a few of them and I took a break from them and I started focusing on some other makers. But wow, is this one ever bringing me right back? So this one is not that finished though. What I loved about that base color with the contrasting shimmer was very often like Sassy Cat's Lacquer had this magical way of making their polishes look like sea glass. And I think that is part of what's bringing me in with this polish, even though the finish is completely different. This one's a magnetic. There's still something about, and I'm looking at kind of every image here in this lead collage. Every swatch photo here is kind of bringing me back to that sea glass effect, but it's through a magnetic polish. So there's this sage green base. Actually, I very much think of it as a matcha green base, as I'm drinking a matcha that's almost identical in color to this one. And then there's this purple pink glowy shimmer. So still like a warm contrasting shimmer. And then there's this blue purple magnetic effect too. And I think we're very clearly seeing a velvet effect swatch down in the bottom left-hand corner. I'm seeing kind of a uniform glow happening across the nails on the swatcher in the bottom left. I would say this one here probably has more of a kind of a cat eye effect happening. It might be a slightly different effect, but I'm seeing especially on the swatchers, I believe that's the ring finger here, the first full nail that's showing on the left. To me, that looks like a cat eye effect. It's kind of a magical iridescent sea glass kind of look, as if somehow, like, you know, some of that depression glass, how it has that iridescence to it, as if somehow some of that ended up on a beach and you're seeing that effect. Like there's some magic happening in here. Here I'm really seeing that just magical effect contrasted against that rich, appealing sage matcha looking base. Really stunning. Another one that's really getting my heart as we're starting to close in on fall. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what else to say. I've got a number of greens showing up on this wish list this month. I am a green lover. They're all so different from one another, and also, surprisingly enough, very different from any other greens that I have in my collection overall. This polish is really bringing me back to Sassy Cat's Lacquer and the whole reason why I fell in love with this brand to begin with. This incredible sage green, matcha-inspired magnetic polish is by Sassy Cat's Lacquer Green Elixir. This final item on my wish list is by Zombie Claw, and this one is called Rotten to the Core. This one is another cat pre-order polish with only 100 being made available this month. Zombie Claw continues their zombie series with a polish inspired by a grungy vibe for a zombie. Rotten to the Core has a brown base with electric red gold shimmer. This is another one that the moment I saw it, I thought, wow, you know, fall is just around the corner. This one to me is a true fall in a bottle type of polish. It's so rich and appealing and decadent, and it's by Zombie Claw. Now, Zombie Claw is a polish brand where I only have the smallest handful of polishes from them. And I really don't know why, because I love everything that I own from them. I would say I might own 2 or 3 Zombie Claw polishes. And I would love to increase the volume of Zombie Claw polishes that I have in my collection. Being a Canadian, most of how I buy polishes is either buying Canadian from Canadian stores or Canadian stockists, or through these collaboration websites, because it allows me to access several different brands all at once, kind of an all-in-one shop. Yeah, Zombie Claw, like they are just really doing it for me here with this polish. I love the fact that this one has a brown base, but it's just so much more. I love brown polishes, but there's something about that electric red gold shimmer. It's really coming through in these swatch photos beautifully. I think the effect of this one out in the wild, in real life, on my own nails, in all kinds of lighting, I think this one would be just stunning. That warmth of this shimmer is really coming across. I can't get enough of it. This one truly looks like fall in a bottle. There's such an elegance about this polish as well. It's a really, I think, a very classic polish color, but with quite a rich twist. It's decadent. It's making me think of kind of mulled cranberry. Yes, it's got the brown base, but it's got that really rich, almost cranberry lean to it with the shimmer. And then with this golden aspect as well, it's sort of making me think of also a spiced apple cider. Just all these cozy, warm vibes, changing fall leaves. It's elegant, it's decadent, it's cozy, it's beautiful. I would love to add this zombie claw to my collection. This incredible fall in a bottle polish is by Zombie Claw, Rotten to the Core. So that's it for my wish list of 12 amazing polish items. Actually, technically with the duo over here, it's technically 13 polishes, but it is 12 polish listings that I've added to my wish list. I am seeing some definite trends happening here. Lots of greens, a couple of vibrant blues, really all around, actually, except for this one here with the water lily. Most of my polishes, I find, are really evoking this summer into fall kind of feel that I think I'm really craving. And I think that's evident in my wish list this month. I love them all. I've got a number of top picks with the Clionadh Cosmetics. I think maybe the Lurid Lacquer as well. That Sassy Cats is really coming on strong for me. Psyche Minerals. There are many. This could be quite an expensive month. I shouldn't make it such an expensive month, but this is really quite special, I'm finding. So the shop opens this month for Hella Handmade Creations on August the 14th at 12:01 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and it closes on August 21st at 11:59 p.m. Hawaiian Time. Now, Hella Handmade Creations is a website based in Hawaii, so that's why you might see some interesting times. There are a couple of items that have caps of only 100 items being made available, so I might actually have to consider making my purchase pretty early when the shop opens and not waiting until I wake up the next morning at whatever time it might be, because I might actually miss out. I don't like that sort of FOMO idea. Anyway, I feel pretty strongly about some of these polishes and I might be sad if I miss out. So I'm wondering, are you planning on shopping Hella Handmade Creations this month? If you are, which items are catching your eye? Also, I'd love to know all your thoughts about my wish list. Help me narrow it down. Share your thoughts if you have experience with any of these polishes or with any of these makers. Share all your comments and we can continue on the conversation long after. If you enjoy wish listing content like this, please consider giving this video a like. It indicates to me that I'm doing a good job and that you're interested in content like this. And moving forward in the months ahead, I will try my best to produce content similar to this as often as I can. Also, if you enjoy nail-related content in general, please consider subscribing. I release nail content as often as I can, and by subscribing, you won't miss out on any of the fun. Thank you so much for watching. Happy shopping. Hopefully I'll see you again in the next one. Take care. Bye.